Have you ever gotten up to like make a delicious piece of toast for breakfast just to discover you didn't have any bread? Well, that's what happened to me this morning, and I was so like, but then I remembered that making bread only takes like 7 minutes to do. So I decided that I would record my whole entire process. The only thing I did was set up my camera, and then this is me just going and grabbing all of the ingredients. So in less than 7 minutes, you can pull all the things around. Clearly annoyed and tired that I have to like get up and make bread. But what's awesome is that it's quick, and I actually feel really glad that I decided to do it, because I knew that we were running low on bread. And so I was like, should do it yesterday. I had the thought I should make dough, but I didn't. You know, that's just how life goes. So this is me. I'm gathering my ingredients. So I have put flour out. I grabbed my scale, salt, a little bit of yeast, and now I'm getting like my spatula for my starter, and I'm getting ready to go. And as you can see here, my starter is hungry. That liquid on the top, that is the hooch. I don't really like mixing it in when it's that gray. So I will dump it out, and then I'll just stir it up together. So yep, I use a very hungry starter straight out of my fridge to mix up my dough. The pros to this is I can make bread dough whenever I need it, and I don't have to worry about the starter. And 100% sure it doesn't make that big of a difference in your final breadcrumb. And so I have found this just to be a really easy option. Do I do it all of the time? No. Sometimes when I know that I'm going to make bread and I have the quote unquote like perfect scenario day, I will I'll feed my starter a little bit, or let it come to room temperature at least. So, but in this situation, I had about 10 total minutes until I needed to get to work. So I just decided to make the bread with what I had, where I was, and you'll see it's going to turn out so great. So anyway, now I put my starter into my bucket. I'm making 4 pounds of dough. It's not really 4 pounds, but it's four 1 pound loaves. But I make 2 2-pound sandwich loaves with this, and then that is how I keep it going. So I'm gonna add my hot water, warm water, to my starter, and I just use it straight from the faucet, which hasn't been a problem. At the same time that I'm putting the water into my dough, I'm also going to add water to my starter, because I'm going to feed that immediately. And so here I also added about a tablespoon of salt and a sprinkle of yeast. It kind of looked like a lot more than what was there, but it wasn't that much. I don't even use 1/8 of a teaspoon. I call this my insurance, and this is what, when I do use a hungry starter, just adding a little bit of yeast helps make it more predictable. And it smells so good. That's why I said it smells so good. I love the smell of the yeast and the sourdough. I wonder if that's why I make bread. It's like an instant dopamine hit. In here, I'm just adding my flour right on top. Sometimes I put it into a separate bowl, but today I didn't want to have more dishes than what I had, so I just added the flour right in there. Why do we add it all at the same time instead of like adding it on top? Is because the flour that's on the bottom already has started to absorb some of the water, so it is just a little bit harder to stir. But with the Danish dough hook, it takes a few turns, a little bit more because I added the flour, or counted the flour. I added it a little slower over the water, but that's it. Get a shaggy dough. I'm going to cover this and set it aside. So here we are. We're only at 5 minutes. Can you believe it? It's taking less than 5 minutes. So my next step here is I'm actually washing my hands, maybe. Maybe I'm washing my hands. So here, I aggressively mix my starter with the water. And I do that on purpose because I also clean the edges of my starter jar simultaneously when I do that. It just scrapes off really, really nicely. And then I'm just gonna add my flour. And I'm adding like about a cup of flour. Stir that in. Because my starter was hungry, I'm feeding it a little bit more like a 1-to-1 because I want to like enhance the flavor, like keep that sour flavor a little bit without overwhelming it too much. And so it's just like fermenting. So it is like a little wetter than I normally make it. But I'm also going to be making bread again this week. So I'm okay with that. If I was not going to be making bread for a while, I would feed it a little bit thicker. Let it double, and then I'll put it up in the refrigerator. But that's it. And the fruit flies are coming. It's summer. It's like it's happy that it's summer, but with summer we get all these little flying pests around. So this is why I put just a plastic over this, keep the fruit flies out. And then here I am washing dishes. So as you can tell, all that I had to wash was the spatula and the dough hook, my 1 cup measuring cup, and that's it. I don't know about you, but washing dishes, sometimes I don't mind it, but overall, it is one of my least favorite activities to do. Actually, I'm like, I'll cook, you do dishes, like I'd rather. But when I am making the bread, I always wash the utensils like right away because that crusty, dry dough is so much more annoying to wash. So this is like one of those things that no matter what, I wash it immediately. Everything else, I'll just let and soak in the sink. Let's be honest. Anyway, so now I'm just going to put everything away. And my dough and starter will sit on the counter until they have doubled. My dough should be anywhere between 2 and 3 hours to get to the rise that I want. Because my starter was hungry and I used just like a little bit of yeast, it probably will be closer to the 3-hour mark. So if you are curious how my bread is going to turn out, you can subscribe and follow, and I will show my bread later today after I have it baked.